Baba Yaga, Part 2, The Wise.
Inside the village cloister, night. Down a hidden staircase, below the main floor of the cloister, Erebus stands in a chamber lit with candles. Several monks hold a woman, 26 winters, who has been beaten. She can barely stand. A pool of blood grows thick on the floor at her feet. The walls are lined in heavy woven fabric with images of mortification of the flesh and ancient mathematical symbols. Manuscripts and beakers of various animal parts in liquid line the shelves of an altar behind Erebus. A large black owl is chained to a perch in the corner of the room. It has no eyes. Its beak is open. No sound comes out.
We have learned everything she knows. She will not tell us where her grandmother has gone.
Erebus lifts the swollen face of the girl.
Such a pity. So lovely. And with child, I see. Or should I say you were with child?
The woman lets out a long and sorrowful wail. A necklace of the goddess with a moonstone falls from her hand. Erebus picks up the necklace.
Absurd little trinket. The stone is useful.
I have done what you ask. Please.
I did say I would release you, and you have been most forthcoming, but you see, you've given us recipes for birthing babies, headaches, and sicknesses passed between the flesh. We've become well practiced at most of them already. You're not our first witch. No, I need more. Now, are you sure you can't give me what I really want?
I know of no one. My grandmother and I are the only healers in this area.
Several monks snicker.
Healers? Oh, no, child. Healers you are not. We are healers. Only those of us ordained by the highest power are true healers. There are so few of you left that know more than we do. But there are a few. One of them is undoubtedly who your grandmother went to see. Where is Baba Yaga? Do tell me, child. Oh, when we find your grandmother, and we will, what we do to her will be so much worse. Now, you wouldn't want to be responsible for that now, would you?
All the monks sneer and lean in close. She hangs her head, sobbing.
Oh, do stop whinging. It hurts my ears. Take her below. Do what you will. She's served her purpose.
She struggles to break free, but she is too weak. Erebus waves his hand in her direction. Her sobs turn into cries of pain. The monks drag her out of the chambers. Erebus eyes the moonstone necklace. He clenches his fist.
Wait. Before you are finished with her, bring me her eyes. What she has seen holds more value than what she knows.
The woman's screams trail off. Erebus opens an old manuscript tied together with a rope. Forest, day. Eleni, 70 winters, walks cautiously toward the hut. Her hood hides her face. The hut on chicken legs turns to face her. Ghostly shapes pass near and across Eleni as she stops at the gate. The fingers on the front door of the hut fly open. Baba Yaga stands in the doorway.
So, you have come.
With a trembling hand, Eleni removes her hood.
Yes, it is I, Eleni. come to speak with the great...
Eleni is invisibly ripped from where she stands and dragged into the hut. Inside the hut, same day. The front door slams shut. Baba Yaga stands directly in front of Eleni. Her shadow looms large, and the air around her warps with fierce energy. The two pair of hands are armed with knives. Baba Yaga can see that Eleni's face is already cut and bruised. Chain marks have reddened her wrists and feet.
You don't look well, Eleni. Have you betrayed another?
With tears streaming down her face, Eleni struggles.
Please, Baba Yaga, please let me speak.
Baba Yaga cocks her head to one side, glaring at Eleni. Gradually, the pressure is released, and Eleni takes a full breath. She stays on the floor.
I came as soon as I heard you wanted to see me. I have wanted to talk to you for so long.
You are the reason my mother is dead.
It is true. I wronged you. I wronged you both. I knew Borvin and Preben.
You sent them to our home. You told them how...
I know. I did a terrible thing to you in Mirna. It was selfish. It was wrong. But please, try to understand. The villagers stopped coming to me when you started making your mother's potions. It had to be you. When she sold the things you made, no one came to me. No one. Mirna bragged about you. She laughed at me, said I'd better clear out, find a new place. I had a daughter, too. I had no other way to make a living. How could I leave my home? I had to do something.
So this was all for profit. Come here, Eleni. Let me show you what happened. Give me your hands.
Cautiously, Eleni rises and places her trembling hands into Baba Yaga's. Instantly, they vanish. 2 huts in the forest, night. The sound of tables and glass being shattered can be heard from one of the 2 huts, deep in the forest. Mirna, 45 winters, approaches the hut.
Baba! Who's there, Baba?
Borvin, 23 winters, runs out the back of Baba Yaga's hut and circles to the front, just in time to catch Mirna. He aims his arrow of fire and hits her square in the chest.
Come close to the fire, you old witch! You look chilly!
Mirna tries to retaliate as Borvin shoots her with a second arrow. Preben, 23 winters, comes out of the hut with a lit arrow between his teeth. He pulls up his pants. His aim is as precise as Borvin's. As a third and fourth arrow pierce Mirna's heart, she collapses. Baba Yaga, 20 winters, drags herself from the hut. Her tunic is ripped. She is bruised all over. The chain around her neck has cut into her skin. Half of her front teeth are broken off. She reaches out to her mother.
No! Mother, no!
Instantly, Mirna is engulfed in flames. A second later, all sound stops, and nothing is left except a pile of smoldering ashes. Preben lets out a triumphant holler. Baba Yaga attempts to stand.
Just in time for my turn.
No! Not yet. Let's make sure this nasty little witch never forgets this day. We wouldn't want that, would we?
Borvin grabs Baba Yaga's chain, dragging her on the ground to her mother's ashes. In a fury, Preben grabs some of Mirna's smoldering ashes and stuffs them into Baba Yaga's mouth.
How does your mother taste, huh, witch?
Baba Yaga gasps for air.
Not so powerful now.
Yeah, that's it. Take it all in. Dried bones and ash.
Borvin throws down his arrows, readying for his turn.
How about a spell or two, witch? So we can curse what's left of your miserable...
Egill rides into the scene. He grabs his bow and arrow and shoots both men, slowing, but not stopping them. Egill leaps from his horse, and the 3 men fight. Baba Yaga drags herself to her feet. She manages to loosen the chain from her neck. She uses all her strength to reach a thorny bush nearby with her unchained arm. She sends the bush toward Borvin and Preben, pinning them to the ground, entwining them with thorns that dig into their eyes and wrists. Egill stands back. awaiting the same fate. Baba Yaga tries to scream, but barely any sound comes out. She grabs her chain and rips it from the ground. Untethered, she half runs, half drags herself to Mirna's hut. She throws open the door to her mother's hut. Inside Mirna's hut, same night, Baba Yaga reaches for her mother's cloak. Seeing movement out of the corner of her eye, she stops. Isavallia, 10 winters, peers out from behind the stove. Incredulous, Baba Yaga stares back at her. Isavallia clutches the doll to her chest, shaking all over.
Who are you?
Baba Yaga is transfixed at the sight of the child. Blinking wildly, she contorts her face to scream. No sound comes out. Egill stops in the doorway and sees Isavallia. Baba Yaga shakes her hands on either side of her head. The air in the hut warps and vibrates. She grabs the cloak and pushes past Egill. Isavallia, still shaking with fear, fixes her eyes on Egill.
Where's my mother? What has happened? Where is my mother?
Forest, same night. Borvin and Preben writhe on the ground. Baba Yaga attempts to get on any nearby horse, but they all run from her. In her desperation, she kicks over a large cauldron. She steps into the cauldron, grabs a nearby birch branch, and off she flies, low to the ground. Inside the hut, both Eleni and Baba Yaga reappear in the same places before the flashback. Baba Yaga slams Eleni against the wall. She steps back as if to deliver a finishing blow. A rock crashes through the window, narrowly missing Eleni. Forest, same day. The weather quickly changes to dark and stormy. Ghostly voices on the rising winds start to howl and scream. Plamen, 18 winters. On horseback with 6 or 7 other riders surround the hut. 2 of the riders raise arrows with fire on the tips and take aim. One hunter throws rocks at the skulls, extinguishing the fire.
You've got a debt to pay, witch!
Inside the hut, same day. Baba Yaga swiftly moves into action. She reaches for a jar filled with black grains as another rock crashes through a window and smashes it.
Go!
Hut, same day. The chicken legs spring up from the ground and start to run. Plamen and the other riders take off after the hut.
Get back here, you witch! Now it is you who will be hunted down like the dog you are.
The hut dodges left and right at full speed to avoid the flaming arrows. Where the arrows land, the fire is instantly extinguished by ghostly shapes. The riders aim their arrows at the chicken legs while yelling the names of their brothers and fathers.
You will pay for the death of my great-uncle Preben, for Borvin, all of my kin. When I catch you, it will be far worse than the first time.
Steadily, Baba Yaga throws the energy around her towards the riders, slamming them into trees, killing them instantly. The chicken legs run faster and faster. Gradually, the hut leaves Plamen behind. The chicken legs slow their pace. Inside the hut, same day. The structure of the hut is intact, but inside, most everything is destroyed. Broken glass is everywhere. Eleni is pinned beneath a table. A large, thin piece of glass has pierced her side. Blood gushes out. Baba Yaga stands in the center of the hut.
Stop! Stop now!
The hut comes to rest in a grove of trees. Baba Yaga bends down to retrieve the broken jar. She screams as she cuts herself, raising her arms above her head, revealing red, scabby wrists. The jar and contents disappear. She shakes the air on either side of her head and looks out wildly into the night.
I had no idea, Baba. You have to believe me. We may have had our arguments, but Mirna was my friend. They promised they would only scare you off. They swore no harm would come to you.
And you trusted them.
I did.
I did move to another village. I sent Isavallia far away. I left her in the care of an elderly couple who lived by the sea. How could she ever forgive me? Little did I know I would fail her again. But at that time, I was filled with hatred and revenge. I studied Father's grimoire day and night. Spells and incantations that made me extremely powerful. I went looking for men, any male who did what Preben and Borvin did to me. And I did horrible things to them.
Kachki the Deathless wasn't much of a father, but he was a most powerful sorcerer, Baba. Baba, there is another.
Yes, I thought as much. Erebus the Cruel, hair and beard that is an unnatural color black. Is he the new priest?
Father Vasily. Yes, I'm sure it's him. He asked my granddaughter to assist him in a birth. I have not seen her since. I know I have no right.
You do not.
Please, please, Baba. She's all I have left. If you could find...
Baba Yaga looks at Eleni's gaping wound. She throws energy toward Eleni, who opens her eyes wide as if to speak, and then dies.
You made a contract with something far worse than you can imagine. There now. Find whatever peace you can.
Cave entrance, same day. At the foot of the hillside that leads up to the cave, V catches sight of Baba Yaga and Egill. They're having an animated conversation. The rain and thunder prevent V from hearing what they are saying. As Baba Yaga talks, she shakes her hands on either side of her head. As she does this, the rain stops and moves up toward the sky. Egill stands very still. He keeps his eyes on Baba Yaga's face as she talks. V watches them. Frustrated that she cannot hear the conversation, she grabs the bowls of rain and re-enters the cave. When she returns to place the bowls outside again, Baba Yaga is gone, and Egill is looking up at her. V quickly ducks down and slinks back to the cave. After some time, the wind blows into the cave to announce Baba Yaga's arrival. Inside the cave, same day. Baba Yaga steps out of the cauldron. The storm outside is still audible, but Baba Yaga's clothes and hair are completely dry. She carries a small burlap bag. Baba Yaga pulls out a rabbit with its paw caught in a grotesque-looking trap. The rabbit twitches slightly. Its eyes are glazed over. Baba Yaga places the trapped rabbit on the table.
Get me that green jar.
Baba Yaga places 4 more jars on the table.
Describe what you see.
A rabbit with its foot caught in a trap?
Paw. Details matter.
Its paw, caught in a trap. 4 jars of herbs or plants and 1 green jar that looks like a salve of some kind.
How would you know it is a salve?
It looks like one my mother taught me to make for cuts or burns.
Open the jars. Tell me what they are.
Baba Yaga adds 1 more jar.
Oh, I know this one. This is salvia.
Which salvia?
Which? I only know salvia.
There are hundreds of salvias, child. This is Salvia apiana. Pick it up. Put it near the light. What color is it?
V holds it up near one of the torches.
Gray? No, silver?
There's a difference between gray and silver. You can see, child, can you not? Would it be useful to the rabbit?
Yes, to the wound, but...
What else?
V looks at the other jars.
The dark one. Is it elder?
What else?
This jar you just added. I know that smell, but I've never used it. It smells of pine, but why would you use pine?
Anything else?
I've seen this flower, but I don't know what it is, and I don't recognize the others.
Baba Yaga waves away the jars she does not need. They soar back to their shelf. She snaps her fingers, and the pair of hands appear. The hands grab the trap and pry it open. Baba Yaga whistles softly over the rabbit. Instantly, the eyes close, and the rabbit's body relaxes.
Pine salve is a resin. Very sticky and hard to work with. Mixing the needles, the bark, and the tar with oil make it easier to work with. Best in small batches. Are you listening? Or do I need to summon the hands to write this down?
No, I'm listening.
Baba Yaga talks to the tar as well as V. She speaks quietly as she spreads the resin over the rabbit's wound.
This rabbit may recover, or it may not. I did not ask if it wanted to be healed.
Ask? Why would you ask? Of course it wants to be healed.
Suddenly, the hands appear. Grab the body of the rabbit, open the oven door, and toss the rabbit in.
No, stop! What are you doing?
Baba Yaga puts the jars back where they belong.
Why did you do that? That was cruel.
Cruel? This is not my trap, child.
Baba Yaga tosses the trap outside the cave entrance. A chorus of ghostly sounds can be heard.
Why did you bother to bring the rabbit home if you were just going to kill it? Why not have left it? Is that what you bring here every day? Things that are near death for your supper when they could be healed instead?
Why not? Be thankful, child. One of these days it may be you I toss into the fire.
The torches blaze bright, and the air in the cave warps with agitation. Both pairs of hands grab the knives from the table and stand at the ready, very close to V.
The question is not, what can I teach you, child? It is, what can you learn?
Backing up slowly, V turns and runs out of the cave. Now alone in the cave, Baba Yaga turns and opens the oven. The rabbit hops into her arms, alive and well. She turns to place the rabbit on the table, petting its fur. Speaking to the rabbit.
She will have to learn. Life is not a fairy tale.
She lets the rabbit down, and it hops away. Hillside, same day. Running down the hillside, V notices the rain has stopped. The sky is overcast, but there is no threat of thunder or lightning. She looks back to the cave. It is covered by gray clouds and flashes of lightning. Egill meets her at the foot of the hillside, as though he has been expecting her.
You! Why are you here? Why did you lead me to this horrible place? Why?
You cannot leave her.
I can, and I will. She's vile, demanding, secretive, cruel. Has anyone ever survived her presence? Ever? Why ask questions? I never get any answers. Why am I here?
V starts walking away from the cave into the forest. Egill follows.
Please, you cannot leave her.
Do you not hear? I am leaving, even if she swoops down and eats me on the spot.
She won't. She can't.
Who are you anyway? And who are you to her? And how is it that you appear every time I'm in distress?
Egill bows in front of her on one knee.
I am Egill, the huntsman in red. I bring the dawn. I am one of 3 huntsmen.
Well, Egill, Baba Yaga has done nothing but assure me that with one misstep I shall be her supper. I've cooked her food. I've seen burlap bags slung into the oven while whatever's inside is still moving. I assume that's what you brought me here for? Does she not have enough meat? Too many ill-fed villagers and half-dead animals? She needed something a little fresher?
Stop for a moment, please.
V slows her pace.
Come with me. No, not back to Baba. Somewhere else. I swear no harm will come to you. I just think you might want to see something. You are already headed that way.
V stops.
This is not a trick. I used to have honor, a long time ago. I swear on whatever shred of honor I have left, and the honor of all my ancestors, no harm will come to you.
All right. As long as we are not going back to that cave. I guess we shall see if you really do have any honor.
V and Egill walk in silence for a while.
Who are the other 2? The other 2 huntsmen?
Preben is the huntsman in black. He brings the night. Borvin is the huntsman in white. He brings midday. And you would be wise never to come across either. We are not kin, and we are not alike. We are bound in service to Baba Yaga. I would have it no other way, but I do not speak for the other 2.
They have no hands.
Yes, that is so.
Up ahead in a clearing, V can see a rose-colored light shimmering through the trees. In a wildflower meadow, the hut can be seen. The skulls on the fence posts glow with a warm rose-colored light. V stops. At the front gate of the hut, there are baskets of herbs and bark. A few herb and flower garlands are woven through and around the fence posts. A young mother with her infant come to the gate and offer a basket of herbs. Smiling, the mother lifts her infant to feel the rose-colored glow on both their faces. They both giggle, smile, and sing a short blessing song. A short while later, an old woman drops off burlap and some woven blankets. V hears prayers of gratitude. Domitius heads directly for Egill. His facial bruises are somewhat healed. He carries a small bundled kerchief in his hands. Domitius stops between V and Egill. He offers up the kerchief with his head down. Egill takes it, bends down on one knee, and looks into Domitius's eyes.
Do you want me to give this to her?
Domitius nods his head fast and hard. Egill takes the bundle and opens the flaps of the kerchief to reveal a tiny dead mouse.
I am sorry, Domitius. Are you sure? You want me to ask?
Baya.
All right, it's all right. We will see that Baba Yaga gets this. It will be all right. And, thank you.
Domitius looks at Egill and V, wipes a tear from his dirt-covered face, smiles shyly, then runs off. V hears the call of Preben's steed. Darkness begins. The rose-colored light fades. One by one, each skull reignites with fire, and the lighting becomes ominous. V and Egill gather the baskets left at the gate. As V enters, she sidesteps the dried blood on the floor. She places the baskets and jars on the table. Egill does not cross the threshold.
See that jar there? The clear one with the gray powder?
Yes.
Take that one with you. Would you like to ride?
V slips the jar into her pocket.
No, but thank you. I need to walk.
Egill turns his back to the hut and gathers the reins of his horse outside the gates. They walk side by side away from the hut. The doll jumps up and down in V's pocket. Egill notices.
Why are you so devoted to Baba Yaga?
When I was a child, I could not speak 2 words without stuttering. It was a long and tortuous process to say 5 or 6 words together. I was ridiculed, mercilessly, especially by Borvin and Preben. The village folk shunned my mother and father. To make sure my mother could not have any more children, she was stoned to death. Some of the villagers begged my father to drown me. We moved deep into the forest. There, I learned to hunt. I became an excellent hunter. Little by little, 1 or 2 of the old folk in the village bought what I killed. Then, before my 20th winter, I met Baba. We both loved the forest. We both felt peace and acceptance there. She cured me. I was so overjoyed that I ran to the village to tell everyone what she had done.
Especially Borvin and Preben?
Yes. Especially Borvin and Preben. What happened next was my fault. It is not my story to tell, but it is in part the reason for my devotion.
They walk in silence. Blackberry bushes line a long and narrow stream. V stops to pick some berries. As she rounds the river bend, she walks into a clearing. Egill leads his horse to the stream to drink. V notices an old pile of charred logs and bits of burnt rope in a circle of blackened earth. The doll starts to jump up and down in her pocket. V rests her hand on a charred log for a moment. Instantly, she rises off the ground by a few inches. With her mouth open, she is screaming, but no sounds come out. Her hair and clothes whip around her as though they are burning. Egill grabs her, and she drops the log. Gasping for air, she looks at Egill. Tears stream down her cheeks. End Podcast 2. To be continued.